Okay, I got this. I fucking got this. Compose. Welcome back to your millennial group therapy session, Baby One More Podcast, Pod After Dark edition with your hosts, Steph and
Morgs.
And our special guest, also
Nicole.
our best friend, Nicole.
She's here.
Oh my God.
In a special episode for Pride Month. Da, 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 da. We had to have the bestie of the besties
Obviously.
on the pod.
Glad to be here.
We're excited to have you. So get ready. Get ready.
Hit me with the questions for the gays. the gays and the days.
We have to tell Steph right off the jump because I had some questions.
Oh yeah.
What is a U-Haul lesbian?
I need to know.
Steph doesn't know. Tell the world because I feel like
there's probably other people that don't know either. I can't be the only one.
That Stephanie doesn't know is because I'm not a U-Haul lesbian. I'm very heterosexual in that.
And that makes sense. But go ahead and please explain to little me.
A U-Haul lesbian are two girls say, all right, let's set the scene. We are going to a coffee shop because how gay. We're having coffee and you know what? We lock eyes and we're like, you know what? We got something going on. So they go on a 72-hour date, which includes 2 nights of sleeping over, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, catering to whoever needs. And say that was a Sunday, Sunday coffee. By Wednesday, they already signed a lease. They're adopting a dog on Thursday, and they're getting married by Saturday. It is pack that U-Haul.
So that's where that comes.
The fast track.
So I'm over here trying to come up with fucking reasons why it would be U-Haul. I'm like, because they drive around and pick up chicks? Is it because they go through a lot of girls? Like a U-Haul, we're constantly turning over. Next stop.
That's a good guess if you had to throw one out there. But no, it's literally because they're packing up their lives and moving either across the country, down the street.
Oh shit.
And it's just
I can't even figure out.
Experience that.
Yeah, well, no shit. But I also am sitting here okay, that's a lot to happen in such a short period of time. I'm over here do I even like a person after a year of dating them or more?
Yeah, listen,
2.5 year mark.
Because it's on to the next after that because that's going to be super love bomb and you're love, yeah. And then all of a sudden it's going to be you know what, actually, I think I still love my ex. I got to go. And then
your ex knows your ex, though.
Right, and your ex has probably dated your ex.
The ex knows the ex of the ex and the ex. I mean, please. If I've ever seen more of a connection of exes, it is lesbians.
Yeah.
I mean,
specifically yours. But
the Eskimo
yeah, there's been a couple series of the sister wives throughout the years. Through generations. So it's a theme. But
mercy.
I never was that. I very much, like I said, I'm very heterosexual when it comes to that. Very logical. I don't even like to have sleepovers. We have to be together for 2 months before we have a sleepover. But that's me, But typically there is that stigma of we move like lightning. It's lickety split.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good on the ones that do it.
Yeah, it couldn't be me. That's
nope.
It's stressful. God. It's like love bombing. It's just so hot, and then it fizzles out, and then you're left with somebody else's cat in an apartment, and then you don't know what to
do. Dude, the stress though of how do you trust that fast?
Right.
What?
Yeah, what? I would be afraid they would turn and kill me in the middle of the night.
Dude,
yeah. I think that's also where it just becomes chaotic in the gays and the days because it is kind of fast moving, quick to hook up, quick to fall in love, quick to fall out of love, quick to get back together.
Why do you think that is though?
I don't know. I mean, I think it has to do with maybe being able to connect with somebody. Coming from the heteros, hearing you guys tell your stories for the last 20 something years, with men, you learn it's different versus literally dating your best friend. It's it's comfortable, it's exciting, it's fun, and it's familiar. So I think with that sense, it does pick up speed versus
that's true. That makes sense.
With a guy, I mean, I definitely, obviously, had my fair shares of boyfriends throughout the years early on.
Yes, but you have to tell the people.
Yeah.
Your journey, obviously.
Me like in denial
Yeah.
over here that Nicole was ever a lesbian because she had boyfriends.
Steph was
She had more boyfriends than I did at that point. So
She did.
Yeah,
She did.
Steph didn't get the memo.
Oh my
listen, I
God.
still remember the time you told me. It was in high school in class, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, cool. Let's
Yeah.
just continue on life here."
Yeah, I didn't really know, like, you know, how to go about it. Like, I feel like, you know, kind of like launching into like obviously kicking off the month of like being gay, and like there's so many different
Yeah.
coming outs, and like why is pride so important? Because you don't have, you know, it's like you have to come out, like, for fucking what, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why didn't you guys come out with your
Right,
boyfriends?
exactly.
Like, why was that even a conversation?
Right.
But, you know, I think obviously culture, religion, there's so many different reasons that like it's been a struggle for so many over the years. Like, I fortunately did have loving parents. I definitely think, you know, growing up in a third world country in an island where you're getting stoned, you know what I mean? Like, it's a no for me, dog. Like,
Not
it's
accepted.
not happening. It's not acceptable. You know, and then coming to the States when I was 11, like, I knew I had, like, I was different, I guess I could say. Like, I remember my mom caught me like kissing a girl when I was like 7, and she was like, "What are we doing here?
Yeah.
This sleepover is canceled." Like, calling the girl's parents, like, "I think you need to come get your kid, like, right now." And I remember my mom pulling me on the balcony, and I was like 7, 8, I don't know, like, playing house. And I remember my mom asking me, was like, "Nicole, like, what was that? Like, what were you doing? Like, what, like, you know?" And I was like, I don't know, it just felt normal. Like, I was, you know, like, I didn't know, but I didn't have a name. You know what I mean? I didn't have gay, lesbian. This is what it is. Versus kids nowadays, like, they're so like fluent in that. So I didn't know until I came, you know, here when I was 11, and I didn't know, like, it was obviously like such a big transition overall, then trying to battle like going through puberty and figuring out like
so many different things happening. Also just making friends with people, because new place, completely new place.
Middle school,
at a hard age,
new country, like so many different feelings, hormones, and just life, you know. So I think, you know, it wasn't until like I moved to Wellington Shores, you know,
and you met me in Publix,
in
the Axe aisle.
You know, it's like me and Steph are U-Haul lesbians without the extra. We locked eyes in that Publix.
We are U-Haul lesbians in friendship. That was how. That was it. It was so quick. That was all we needed with the Axe body spray, and that was it.
That's
tied the knot on friendship.
My soulmate. Yeah, she was my soulmate. You know, so being able to then, like, you know, meet you like shortly after, and like having like, okay, like, I have friends, I feel safe. I'm starting to like figure out more about myself. And I remember encountering like my first girlfriend, who actually happened to be like my first friend, when I went to Polo Park in middle school. The first person to ever speak to me. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like, she's really pretty. And I was like, no, like, what is that? Like, I don't know. So it wasn't until like we got a little bit older and she was a little persistent, and kind of just I remember we were, you know, at our other friend's house, and just kind of, she was at a party, and she just was like, "Hey, I like you." And I was like,
huh?
You like we're friends. Like, we're homies. Like
more than friends? What?
Oh my gosh. So I pulled back, because I was like, wow, I'm feeling feelings for somebody that I thought was a friend, but I always thought was really like pretty, or like gravitated towards. So I think like I didn't want to like accept reality, and that's when I had boyfriends. Like, I was trying to,
or like,
well, you were following the norm.
I was following the norm. Like,
that is like, okay, like, I'm a girl, I date guys, because that's all everyone was ever exposed to.
You guys were kind of like, thought like boys were cute, so I was like,
okay,
I guess I
guess so too.
So you know, and like, obviously fitting the role for my parents, I didn't know if they were going to be disappointed. Didn't know if like they were scared. Like, you know, like, coming from a biracial family, like, I think that has always been like a concern. Like, my parents were like, people didn't accept us, and like they know how cruel the world was for like them being like an interracial family and marriage. Now my kid is gay on top of that. So it's like, you know, I think I didn't know how they were going to perceive it. So as like the time went on, and I just couldn't keep up the charade with the boyfriends anymore, because obviously we go to like a certain point and I'd find another one, you know. Like, I don't want to fuck you, but like we can make out. That's cool.
We can set the scene.
My God. It was like, when it was like getting to that point, I was like,
nah.
I think I have to go home now. Actually, I need to go vacuum, like something. You know, I got
to take the pork chop.
I gotta go take the.
Wait, can I ask a question though, please? Because I don't think I ever have. This is kind of TMI. Did you ever touch a penis? Okay. I'm just curious.
Yes, I just didn't want it anywhere near me.
I was like, well, that's good. Don't like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was curious, because I'm like, did you ever like actually fill one up to know?
Yeah,
like, and then you're immediately like, no.
No. For me, it wasn't even like that initial. Like, it was so funny. Like, we were actually kind of talking about this, like how I don't have like a distaste for men. Like, I still very much think they're attractive, and like, you know, I don't have like any type of ill feeling. So I was like, ew, like, oh my God, like away from me. It was just more of like,
you're just not attracted to it.
This isn't doing anything for me, like mentally, physically, like it wasn't
a turn on for you.
And, and if it was like, hey, maybe I'd be the bi and bisexual of this month, you know, representing, like, you know, but it just didn't do anything for me. So, you know, like flashing forward to like what's 15, 16, 17, like that point I was like very much like, okay, like this is like who I am. And I remember like telling you guys about it, and like Steph was like, you're just like, what? Like,
because somebody asked me in class, they were like, is Nicole lesbian? I'm like, I think so. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, we never.
Dude, I didn't even know that you and your first girlfriend dated. We were all friends.
We kept that on the secret.
I'm like, I
was in the inner circle
together. Yeah, I was not.
Morgan,
no fucking clue.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like, shit. So all those times we had sleepovers.
Yeah.
There was possibly other stuff happening. Morgan and I are eating crackers. Not Nicole. She's eating something else.
Dead.
Crackers weren't on her menu.
No, they were.
Morgan and I just eating Triscuits or whatever the fuck they were.
They may have been an appetizer, but not the full meal.
Dead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, you know, at that point, I told my parents. I remember mom being like, kind of like, not necessarily upset. I think it just was difficult because I was also more masculine. So, like, I didn't want to. I think if maybe I was more feminine, she would have been a little bit more like well perceived,
quicker, like versus for her to.
Well, I mean, your mom would answer the door every single time I'd come and be like, "Nicole, look at how pretty and nice Steph looks today.
Like,
can you dress like this?" And you're like, "No."
Yes. I God, like,
every single time.
I know, and I remember, you know, trying to fit in, you know, with the fucking Hollisters and the abs, and like the painted on jeans, and like let me wear a pusher bra, like, and I felt uncomfortable, like I didn't feel.
You could tell looking from the outside, you didn't feel comfortable.
But I needed to put on this performance of like, okay, like, cool, like I guess I'll meet you in the middle. Like this is who I am, but I'm just wearing closer clothes. But
also, like, maybe my mom will stop saying those comments if I do. Yeah, you know.
I also feel like back in the day, it was like. So, like, it wasn't as talked about as it is now. It wasn't as out in the open. So it was like you had to be like kind of hiding behind.
I had to blend in. I had to fit in. Now, I will say when I did, you know, start becoming like my own individual, I want to say maybe I was like junior year of high school, like when I really like transitioned into like wearing like clothes that I wanted to wear. And, like, you know, it was tough for my mom. And I think it can be tough for most parents, I would say, like when you have this idea of what your kid is going to be, may not even be as small as like, Barbies, oh, wow, I want an athlete. I want a son, you know, I'm like a kid that wants to go to like ballet and culinary school. And you're like, I wanted a man. Like, you know, I think you have these thoughts of like what you want your kid to be, and it's like, okay, like I didn't expect them to want to be with girls, but I maybe thought they would be feminine, and they are neither that. So
Right.
I think it can be a big pill to swallow. Do I think it's necessarily right? I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's entitled to feel like how they want to feel, but I think it's a matter of like, how do you respect boundaries and have like open,
Right.
safe conversations?
That's
like, that's, I think what's most important is that everybody feels safe in that topic.
Yeah.
Because we've all heard terrible stories.
Horrible,
Maybe even been friends with people that have had horrible coming out stories, or being abandoned by their families, or mistreated by their friends, or you know, it goes on, and that's so unfortunate. But I was luckily and blessed enough to have parents who were supportive of me regardless. I think, like I said, my mom, me wearing like non-feminine clothes was like her hardest pill to swallow, you know, and that was like my, you know, negative take of it with my parents and family dynamics. I'll eat that all day. You know what I mean? So, and like having supportive family from you guys, like I felt loved.
Extended like, family. Yeah, it's literally like goes such a long way.
Yeah. Because also my parents, you know, were transitioning into like me accepting who I was. Like Morgan's parents like really like took me in, and like that is where I went when like I really needed to like feel safe and supported. And I just remember like her parents being like, you know, just give them time. Like it's a lot for them to like digest and like think one thing or have this expectation that may not be. And you know,
well, and you're the only child too.
That's
exactly
that's a big thing too.
You know,
just a lot of pressure.
Pressure
in general.
Always this extra level of pressure to perform, to be this, you know,
not just even in like your sexuality, but just in general.
It's just you,
right? Because eyes are all on you. No one else.
1,000%.
Yeah. So and like, you know, definitely like then as I like, you know, became, I guess you could say, proud, like the, you know, that's where that pride comes in, you know, for June, where we like think back to like all the people that fought for like, you know, I would say rights that we do have, however, still a long ways to fucking go. But you know, getting us to the point that we're at right now, it's like that's where I was like, okay, like I remember explaining to my parents, like, I'm half Black, I'm white, I'm a woman, I'm gay, I'm Nicole. Like it's not, you can't pick and choose and focus on one point, because all of those things make me who I am. And you know, so yeah, you know, and that's literally how I told them. I said, it doesn't identify me, but I'm proud of who I've become as an individual, and like where I'm going in life doesn't matter because I'm gay, or like who I want to sleep with at the end of the day. And they just were like, I said, you know,
you could be a freaking drug addict or something. You're not.
Yeah, like
you could have friends that are drug addicts. We're not.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know, all in all, we all turned out, you know, decently well.
Dude,
we did some shit. We got in some trouble, but we didn't end up in jail. We didn't end up knocked up before 18. We didn't end up with a drug addiction. I could go on.
Dude,
yeah. I mean, 100%. So like, I think, you know, all of that really boiled down to like me understanding like where that pride came from, and I felt like kind of empowered to now like live my life like out and comfortable, and like in a sense of like, fuck you, like I am who I am, and like at the end of the day, like I still have the mentality like I have no problem like getting confrontational about it either. Like I'm not gonna sit there and like be a bitch and be like, oh, you can talk to me or make me feel any type of way. No, you respect me, I respect you, and then we need to respect our differences.
Yep.
That's that.
Yeah.
Even the little thing, I agreed.
I know your phone went.
I know.
Fucking things.
I know. I think you're on iPad. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's phone.
The iPad and the phones.
Yeah.
Dude, this took me that long to realize that's why it's doing that shit.
Somehow Steph got balloons one day. Sorry.
Yeah. Surprise!
We do all the time. If you do like
waiting for it,
like peace signs or something, like will pop up.
Yeah.
Party! Yeah, I'm just winning the balloons.
Oh my god, I'm done.
Feliz cumpleaños. That's not it. Feliz cumpleaños. Fuck it. I'm not Spanish. I apologize to the Hispanic community for my very terrible Spanish. Anyways, do you want to? Can we rapid fire questions to Nicole?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're ready. Oh my god, I love this.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
not.
like,
I'm not ready because you have the questions. Well, I guess we both have the
That's
questions.
true. That is true. Well,
Rapid fire.
are you celebrating Pride this year in any way?
I think it's different this year for a number of reasons. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I had my fair share. I remember going down to Miami Pride and there being like, I don't even know, 3,000
God.
people, maybe. Like, it was so
Dude.
little. And you flash forward to, like, I think I went to last Pride in 2019, obviously pre-COVID and life. And, like, you know, there's thousands upon thousands of people that are, like, you know, attending these events, which is amazing to see growth. But with that, I think, you know, I've had my party times. I've been with different people going to prides. And I think right now in the relationship that I am currently, you know, I guess people really don't know, but yeah, I am with my partner who does have a son. So now we have like a family and like kind of like the dad out here, you know, kind of wild to think and flash backwards to I've come, you know, like
we love them. Shout out.
I quoted this to like work the other day. I was like, yeah, I went into COVID a whore. I came out a daddy. Like I went in like very different people.
Literally. Aww. We love the transition of that approach, you know?
Yeah, I've like put that on like a shirt, you know, but
we got you.
Yeah.
With that, you know, from 2020 on, I think there's been a lot of controversy around LGBT in total, including prides, including rights, including how we are viewed, I think, by society currently, to the point where, you know, some prides were canceled because of there not being enough safety. So I think, to answer your question, I did not celebrate Pride this year because I think there's a level of tension that I don't know if I want to involve myself in. I think there's too many eyes that are on like large communities of, I would say like, you know, minorities, but especially, you know, there was an issue up north that they had a Pride and somebody like threw out some suspicious gas or like some, I didn't like read the whole story, but like, yeah, you know, like I think having that family dynamic and like knowing like, you know, there's a son involved and like, I don't know, I didn't feel, we made like kind of like an agreement, you know, that we weren't going to be celebrating this year. You know, I know that he does want to participate and, you know, maybe next year, depending, and like, obviously depends on where you go as a part. Like if you're going out to Miami, you're not bringing a kid, you know, you find a more family friendly and appropriate, you know, because he is very proud of his moms and like, you know, he wants to celebrate that as well. So I think, you know, next year we'll shoot for it, you know, maybe hopefully, you know, things are better and less tension, I would say. So yeah,
Dude, I mean, the Skyway Bridge, the huge bridge to Tampa, last year they did light it up rainbow. Yeah. Not this year. I mean, and even last year, St. Pete Pride, that happened, but the Tampa one was canceled. Like, I mean, it's wild.
So it's unsettling, you know. It's like you go there like any other like gathering, but because it's LGBT, you know, now it's a problem. Though, like everybody's like, up in arms about it,
right?
Like,
which is ridiculous.
And like, you know, it's interesting because you want to throw it on that side of the fence where they feel so apprehensive about Pride. Like I said, you pick and choose the Pride. You know, they want to say like, oh, the gays are like coming for the children, like No,
so, the white men that are in office,
like,
whatever.
You,
sorry.
Look back at yourself of like who the fuck is actually molesting children. You know what I mean?
Right.
But neither.
And not only that, if you don't want to go, don't go. If you do want to go, go. Like it's your own life. Why do you have to like stop other people from doing what they want to do? Nobody's putting a gun to your head saying you have to go to this. Like
a concert.
If you don't want to accept it or be a part of it, don't fucking go to it. If they're not doing it in your home, like, come on.
You're not bringing your kid. Like, I would never bring him to Miami Pride where I know there's going to be titties, dicks, and ass cheeks out.
But Nicole, you're actually like smart. Some people don't think that way. So you have to remember that too.
And like the last thing you have to read the room, and that's with anything. Like, if
100%.
You know, so I think there are family events, you know, more LGBT friendly. And there are more for adults, just like in real life.
Yeah, I'm not bringing Brie and Joey to a strip club. I mean, granted, I did go to them when I was little, but there were not strippers there. It was for holiday parties.
Right.
Not my fault that my dad worked there. I mean, it is what it is. But listen, they weren't bringing us there when the strippers were there. They were bringing us there when there's nobody else there. It's families. They're doing like a dinner. But again, people wouldn't accept that because God forbid you work in a strip club. Ooh, not to you. Like, you brought your kids there. Please.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a little absurd. So I think, this year we just wanted to kind of take like a seat back from it and just kind of suss out the situation, see how things go for next year. Because I know, he does want to be, prideful and be a part of it. And like, I'm all for that. I love that. Like,
can I send you a tie-dye kit to your house? Can that be the activity? I feel like that's
so cute.
That's a great idea.
You should get like a stencil that says pride on it.
Yeah,
we could do that.
We can definitely do some like DIY pride stuff at home and definitely do that. So I mean, and like I just also think it's like where you're mentally at. Like I'm an old gay. Like I have had my time. I've shown up to my
you're in like a committed relationship. You're not single and trying to mingle. It's different situations.
I'm not on the hunt.
We're all in a different place in life right now, and that is okay. Some of us are fighting for our lives during bedtime, so it's okay.
You may have a live Steph.
Exactly.
Godspeed.
Oh my goodness.
Truly. So what else you got?
Yes.
Go ahead, Morgan. Okay. It's all you, because I don't feel like opening my phone.
It's all good. How can us allies better support and advocate for the LGBTQ plus community?
Good one.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just look at you guys. You guys are like my biggest support. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think literally just like treating people for who the fuck they are is like the least of like
minimal.
Like that's just minimal. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not asking anybody to go out there and fucking rally and shit. Like, no, like, but I
just
think
be
it's
a kind person and accepting,
kind and understanding, because it's like, you also read the room. You never know like what people are going through with their struggles, like making like comments or like that was like, the cool thing to say like back then, oh, that's so gay. Like, and it's just like, like dumb. But I think just having a sense of being mindful and like just being respectful is like honestly, I feel like what's most important to me. Like, I know everybody, like what they gear is like supporting and not supporting, like there's a spectrum, but I definitely think that just being mindful, being respectful, like loving people and like being kind, like I think that's just the least that people can do for one another regardless.
Exactly.
And 100%.
That's
like,
it.
And that's fine. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, that's cool. You don't need to like,
but just like we were taught, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Literally, we'll put that on the shirt too.
Cross out the don't say anything, just shut the fuck up.
Literally though,
truly, it's just like that. And I think that's like where it gets like, you don't need to go above and beyond, on either ends of the spectrum. Like, if you like it, great, like applaud from a distance, be fine. But like, and if you dislike it, it doesn't need to be go about your life, because I'm pretty sure that there's not like a group of gays chasing you down begging for
absolutely not
like
Lord,
absolutely not. Like, maybe your wife might be an option for me, but I promise like I promise it's not gonna be like nobody's chasing down. Nobody gives a fuck enough. Like, promise.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Just be good to all. That is
the biggest haters are the ones that are the low keyest anyway.
Oh,
so
sweet Lord. Sweet Lord.
True that.
Yeah. My other good one. What advice would you give to the baby gays out there who are just beginning to explore their identities?
Honestly, like, I think the biggest part of it, like, is finding that happiness and acceptance within yourself, whatever that may look like. I think everybody's sexuality is fluid and different in their own ways, and like being patient with yourself, because it's like you may think you have it figured out and You don't.
Right.
You know, like being able to have a community that supports you, may that be like friends, family, you know, whoever is somebody that knows like you can have your back and like you feel safe with.
Do they have groups? Are there like
you know, it's interesting, like where I work, like obviously like being a therapist in that realm of mental health, there are LGBTQIA groups for, you know, parents, even like support groups, like coping with it for other clients to connect and like share stories and like how did this help you and how can I learn from you.
So important.
Yeah, it definitely is, because sometimes you don't have that commonality. Like sometimes you may, like live in a state where you're like you feel like the only gay or different person, and like who do you connect to? So it's like,
or even the parent. Like imagine like your mom, not like if she didn't have friends that like my parents are so accepting, right? And it's like, so like from that perspective, that's an even bigger bubble. Like
100%. So I think having that good network is highly important, but like also just finding that authenticity in yourself. Like, you know, like your style may change or your feelings may change, or even like how you feel about your sexuality may change like throughout time. You know what I mean? Like I know that there's some lesbians that are like so anti-men, like ew, like I don't want this, like get away from me, you're gross. Or you're fine and you're accepting. Like I think it's just a matter of like having that patience and like loving yourself, like as stupid as that fucking sounds, like
no, but
nobody's gonna support you better than yourself. Like just finding whatever that looks like for you, and like being your authentic fucking self. Like honestly, like
don't be afraid to be who you want to be. Don't try and hide behind things just because it's going to make other people happy, because at the end of the day it's not making you happy, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like I think just being able to find that authenticity and be like, you know what, this is who I am. Like this is me, and like, and if you are getting like people who are unreceptive to that and just like you kind of have like this off feeling, then that's not somebody you can feel safe with.
Exactly. They don't need to be a part of your life.
Exactly.
No, 100%. And like, not to say people can't like grow to change and adjust and like better themselves, for lack of better terms, like, and educating themselves and like being able to respect people's boundaries. So it's not to say like those people in your life that have done you harm or like have like maybe not been as receptive as you wanted, you know, if people, I feel like if they want to, they genuinely can like try and see where you're coming from. You know, it's like obviously you're gonna gauge that on the capacity you want them back in your life, but like being able to like accept that people may not always take a liking or be as supportive as you want.
Or there's disappointments when people change in the opposite way, which is so like it can happen, and that's whatever outside influences, whatever it is, it's just like people that once supported may not for whatever reason, and
unfortunately
it's okay, like it's difficult, but it's definitely disappointment, and you just have to like you know, trust in the others that are there.
Trust in that everything happens for a reason. And my cliche ass.
No, but it's so true. Like, it's so interesting because you know,
people come in and out of your life for one reason or another,
right?
And
some just in stay, general,
some stay and some go.
No, it's true. It's very true.
Exactly. And like going through I feel like the LGBTs are very messy when it comes to finding their path or their way when it comes to relationships. Like it's very hot and cold, and it's like I said, it's very like either like at 1000% or like in shambles. So and like you guys have definitely seen many of my shambles across the way, talking about a very supportive, you know, finding that support and that comfort, because I don't know how I would have been able to get through a lot of the shit that I went through.
we're giggling because we're thinking of all of the things.
It's just like a little replay in my head. Just
it's like a fucking movie, you know what I mean? Like
but
you know,
But in the case of anyone, like any relationship, anything, anybody listening, whatever, just like you still learn traits and different things from all of these people, regardless of said
situations.
Movie script.
Like I said, there's no bad blood, you know.
Exactly.
You learn a lot from people, what you like, what you don't like, what you needed more of.
Grudges, though.
Yeah. Morgan.
Some of us don't let things go as easily as others.
Morgan still has her list, and she like makes
you know
notes.
You know those
making a list, checking it twice. If she runs into you, bitch might not see the light.
Yeah. It will not probably get a warm hello.
Those memes where it's like, I already told my mom what bad thing you did. Well, I already told Morgan, so like,
yeah.
So
definitely
you're on the hit list.
Forgiving and like, maybe there'll be better this time. Morgan was like,
you know, I give people second, third, and sometimes fourth chances when I shouldn't, but it's okay. That's why there's two of us in this trio. There's the logical one, the not so logical one, and then the one that just pings back and forth. That's in every relationship, though. Like, truly. I feel like we each have our own little devil and angel on our shoulders to be like, do this. Yeah. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I definitely think it is an important month. And, you know, as much as it pisses some people off, like it does mean the world to the community and like being able to understand like the struggles and the, you know, lengths that there has been, you know, I mean, it's so crazy to say that there's lengths because like actuality, like it should have just progressed just like, you know, everything else. Then again, minorities, women, you know, people of color, we're all still fighting, but
I know.
Yeah.
It's a journey. That's for sure. Like,
1000%. And it's ever changing. You know what I mean? I can always hope for like a world where it's just like not even like a question and people don't even need to like have it be a thing. Like,
well, like every month is Pride Month, right? Like, like we're keeping our merch on forever. It's not just June.
The entire time for the next however many years we do this for. And then and then when Brie takes over.
Oh my God, yes.
Forever and ever and ever.
And it will be like the, what is it? Vintage Pride merch, gosh. You know?
Yeah.
Vintage merch. I'm starting to get my shirt.
Vintage.
I know. My Fort Myers roller derby representation.
Oh, look at you.
I know.
Dude, I had a shirt somewhere from like the Pulse nightclub, which Christmas. That like that came up. How many years has that been? It was a while. 8 years? 9?
Something like
it's
that.
a long.
Because you were still up there.
It was my last year.
Yeah.
Because you guys were texting me. Dude, we were so close. I mean,
we were close that night.
We were like maybe 5 minutes away from the nightclub.
Yeah, I remember
because we were at a comedy show.
That night.
I know.
And, like,
I almost went out that night. I mean, I don't think I would have been there, but I almost went out that night with Joe and like all the people that I used to work with. And we were like, no, everybody's too tired. We're old.
Yeah.
We're old. We're 25, 24.
Yeah.
And and then I woke up to everybody like freaking blowing on my phone. Are you okay? I'm like, did something happen that I'm unaware of? And then I found that out. Not to mention, may I just throw this out there that like I worked in a shitty ass fucking place. This is how I know. I worked in a laser tag facility with like real life fucking looking guns. Okay. Tell me how this man who owned this place, which now it's shut down, he had like all these fucking things against him. He went bankrupt, thank God. But this man who owned this place did not close down the location that was next to where the freaking thing happened. Like the shooting happened 5 minutes away from that location where I worked at. And I had to go to work that day. Not a single soul came in there. I was like, this is stupid. Why are we fucking open?
No one
is
wants
ridiculous. Nobody wants to do this. And especially like we should be freaking like being able to like go out and pray and mourn and do all the things. I mean, one of the girls I worked with knew a guy that got shot and killed that night.
Yeah.
Like
that's such I mean, it's awful. I mean, it's like, and that's, like I said, it's just, I remember when I used to go out to prides and I would be leaving the house and I remember my dad saying, you know, like, oh, you know, like, I know you want to go and like, I don't have a problem with you going for the reasons that you're going, but
the safety.
I'm
concerned.
I'm nervous. Like you're in a big group of people, part of a community that like not many people want to accept, and has always been worried that something was going to happen like that. You know,
100%.
You know, he's begged me every year because of that. It's like you know, it's like you never know, and like you never think it's gonna happen to me,
right?
You know,
you never
like
think
it's never
that.
gonna happen to me this night or this pride or you know whatever the case may be. So it's like,
dude, my mom was nervous last year. I went with friends to it was like the daytime market, like not parade day. It was the parade was the day before, but it was still just like the market. The whole street was shut down in St. Pete. Like, and I'm like, yes, queen, let me dress up. Let me do the things. I'll wear this. I love this. Yes.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, are you sure you like what? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I get it. You know, it's.
Well, listen, big gatherings are scary to begin with, but then you do something like that like people are actually like, there are people that are like so pissed for whatever fucking reason and feel the need to go do that. Like, it's just sad and scary and sick that people are like that, honestly.
Yeah, it's really like startling. So it's like, you know, also for like the younger generation of gays that are coming up, like have now, like, you know, I didn't have like that fear. Like, obviously I knew it was like a possibility. I mean, it could happen anywhere. Like, we've seen it, you know, grocery stores, movie theaters.
Literally,
like, it was just so common. Like, I knew, you know, but back then, like 2012, you know, up until like 2019, like it really wasn't like a forefront thought of mine. Like, well,
we were also young, so we weren't thinking in the logical sense. Like, now I can't even go to Target with my kids without thinking somebody's going to try and freaking take us away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
I'm like, get kidnapped. It's true. It's scary. Like, I literally do not feel safe anywhere anymore.
Yeah, no, it's
head on a swivel.
And I think, like, how does that equate to something like their first time and like it's so exciting and like
right,
you know,
then
I'm
something
old enough to
God
do these
forbid
things,
happens and now you're traumatized for literally
and now what, you know what I mean? So it's tough to really like sit there and like, I don't know, it's just one of those feelings where you just like have this like to look over your shoulder, like head has to be on a swivel, like, and that's not fun, and especially like if you are drinking or like, you know, you know, whatever, taking drugs, whatever the fuck you're into, like being not in that clear head. And like, you're here to have a good time, you're here to celebrate yourself, you're here to, you know, for all of these wonderful reasons. You don't want to be thinking like, oh shit, is something going to happen? Is today the day that it's going to be me? Are they going to target this pride event in particular? And like, that's, I don't know, you know, that's tough. Like, that's hard to always have to worry about that when you have these events, or like even this month in general. Like, but I mean, it's just tough because you don't want to take away like for what it really stands for and what it really does, and like how much of a good fucking time it is. I mean, there's no better time than the gays. Like, doesn't matter like where you're at, like, you know, it's just a good time. And you know, it is sad to have that cloud over it, but I definitely think like, you know, you have to use your best judgment. You know, if you think that it's something that may be a little bit more risky, then maybe sit that one out. Like, have a house party, do something else, celebrate in a different way. But
and trust your gut. Like, there is that.
Always.
Not to give the witchy vibes.
No, but I always, the minute I feel something's off, I'm like, not.
100%. Fact. 100%. So, yeah, I mean, it's just your best judgment and like your gut. But I definitely think like, you know, it's like you also do kind of only live once, and like it is a good time. It is fun. It is exciting. It is messy. You know, you have like stories, you
memories,
like, Jesus Christ, you know, what the fuck happened that night? You know, but
oh my God.
You don't want to live in fear, but also like just be cautious.
Just be mindful. Yeah, and I
think
that's across like just being. For me, I am very like PDA, like I have no problem kissing my girlfriend, like we have no problem holding hands, but like, you know, will I do that in like Martin County? Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm smart enough to read the room. you know, and I think that it's unfortunate that that's even a thought, but like, I think for me, it's just like, just be mindful, you know, don't take that away from like being who you are. Like, but it's just a matter of like being mindful because people just do shit, you know?
I know. And there are so many more hopefully positive communities where it's like feels better and like just go there instead. But you know, it's still like
when you're in a different
it's a journey.
place.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like, you know, you have to be mindful in every situation of life. I mean, you're not gonna like go have sex in front of your parents, so like that's a real extreme, but
read the room.
That sense, read the room that you're in. You're gonna like go, you know,
PSA,
bang your bill right there? Probably not.
PSA.
You're gonna go straddle your man and stick your tongue down his throat at a family event? Probably not. But there are people that will do it. It will happen.
Oh, sweet Lord.
We just don't place ourselves in that category of weirdness.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I always have to put my own special spin on things, guys.
I love it.
Have we learned anything from this 20 years of friendship?
For like over 20 years, so I expect nothing less, actually.
Like, what's about to happen?
Yeah. Fucking clown.
Oh my goodness. Well, Lord. Is there anything else you guys are thinking of before my really special ender question for the nostalgia?
Special edition question from Morgan.
My guest edition.
Your guest edition. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Do you guys have any other burning questions for me that you want to know? Or go down memory lane, whatever.
I was trying to think if I had anything funny that I could ask, because, you know, that's where I live in my funny bubble.
God.
Yeah.
I definitely had asked Nicole, like, what it was like to bang a chick, but...
Yeah.
Definitely had that question for her in the past.
I mean, the best part of that is usually, you know, both people come, not one. So, I mean, that's always a plus.
Well, I'm sorry. If your man is not making you come, then you should find a different one.
True that as well.
PSA.
Just saying.
True that as well.
Oh my God.
But no, I do. I was like, how does that work? How's the sex life?
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely asked those questions. So I was just really curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
I
do you like toys?
Give a fuck. I don't actually.
Okay. I'm just curious, honestly.
I'm not a toy person. No, never. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, had my fair share of like experimenting with different things throughout the years with different people and their preferences, but never was really one of mine. Like, I would prefer without.
So, strap-on dildos out of the question for Nicole.
Not my thing. No.
Take it off the Christmas list. Okay,
don't get me.
Not even a double-sided. Damn it.
Not even. You can scratch
purple
that.
Sparkly.
Take it off my wish list.
Like, I already told Santa.
I had one that you could just like stick right to the window wherever you wanted it. God damn it.
Fucking like slam that shit against the wall.
Well, oh my God. Too
Santa won't be getting that this year.
Santa will be keeping it for himself.
Yeah, Santa's using it for himself.
Oh my God. I'm done.
I told you I had to throw something in there.
You did great. Yeah. You did great.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I mean, that's a valid question, though.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like it's very, you know, us straight people who have only ever had sex with a penis, we don't know.
It's true. We don't.
Yeah. I mean,
I know we didn't survey, not that we have 1,000 million followers, but we did not survey the people for questions from the audience.
I know.
But if you have any, let us know. We'll have a part 2 with
We can
Nicole.
Always do a part 2.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be
of course. I know. I do have to say, you just coming on and sharing all of this with the people is so vulnerable, and I thank you because it will encourage other people, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just be your fucking self, like whatever that may be. Like, honestly, like, I think like, you know, people will love you regardless. Like, it's just,
and if people don't, they ain't.
And if people don't, then fuck them. Like, you don't
tell them to shut the fuck.
People like authenticity. If you cannot be your authentic true self, then like
and like who
don't try and be someone else.
Like who who wants to live that life regardless, LGBT or not? Like, who wants to live fucking pretend? Like, that's fucking awful and sad and like definitely like, you know, Also, it's not fun for your partner who may not like you
Yeah.
within their authentic self. Like, I feel like that is also very
having to just like
be,
pretend to be someone else is never a fun
mystery
anything.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, or like, you know, I think that is, you know, something obviously in the LGBT community where it's like maybe one of you is out versus someone who's not. So now you need to deal with like a whole other slew of things of like, am I just not good enough for you? Like, like, what is this? Or, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to move at my own pace, or like, and you want to respect the person you're with. Like, you don't want to like fucking pull anybody out of the fucking closet. But at the same time, it's like, now I'm reverting back to like a part of me that may be traumatic for some, like to get to the point where they are now, to feel like they're going backwards, you know? So like, I think, you know, not being your authentic self and can be very traumatic for your partner. Like, I personally experienced that, like just going down that road with someone who very much struggled with their like family dynamics and like torn between living two lives.
It does, it like weighs a lot on the relationship.
It does, because it's like you don't want to like pull somebody away from their family who's loved them and nurtured them for all these years and be like, hey, choose me.
Right.
But at the same time, you're telling me one thing and doing another. So it's very, very convoluted in that regard. So it's like, if people just show up as their authentic selves of like, this is where I'm at, or like, this is what the expectations will be, like, is so much better than playing like, maybe the day will come, like, where I will be, I won't feel
good
like,
enough or
good enough, or
good enough for you to come out to your family.
No.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that,
you know, it's like I'd rather tackle like those issues and those dynamics together as a unit versus have it pull somebody apart. Like,
100%.
you know, I feel like myself, I'm pretty understanding, like I get it, and like, you know, going through that is like, it was very traumatic, it was very tough, and like I thank you guys for like standing by me and like helping pick me up after that, because like I felt like I lost my sense of worth. Like, I didn't know where I stood, or like, was I just not good enough?
A lot.
Like, it took a lot out of me recovering and like nurturing myself back from that to even want to explore a future relationship. And like, I had some pretty failed ones up until where I'm at today, you know, like happily 2 years later, like obviously no relationship's perfect, but like,
and we love Brooke.
Yeah, we're trucking, we love Brooke, we love the babe. But yeah, I think it definitely, you know, if people in my past had shown up their authentic selves, like, you don't know A, where life would have turned out, or B, like, how would it have been, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's something you learn from, and I think it pushed me to be like more authentically me, like, and do better for people that come into my life in the future, regardless of who that may be, like a partner, a friend, or
anyone.
100%.
So definitely, I think having that authenticity and like just being honest with yourself too, you know, like if you honestly like cannot keep that charade up, which a lot of us do play that charade in this community, just be that, you know. It's like, if you cannot fathom like doing this charade of like living a double life, almost
literally Hannah
it's fucking
it's hard.
It is exhausting, and it
doesn't make the person happy either. Like, that all comes back down to you're not making anyone happy in that situation.
Either of them, either sides of the party is like tough. And like, I know it's not just happened to me, I mean, it's
it's common.
It's very common in this community, and it's like people's families have different religions, backgrounds, thoughts, whatever, and that's fine. But like I said, you know, it's like showing up your true self and like knowing what you can and can't handle. And like, may you not know that in the beginning. You never know things until you kind of get your feet, you know, all the way wet.
1000%.
And like, you know, just having that conversation and being an adult about it and be like, listen, babe, this shit's fucking hard. Like, I don't think I can keep up with this anymore, with whatever that may be. Like being half in the closet, half out the closet, or like, you know, whatever the dynamic is.
The partner. Like, if you're on the other side of it too, it's be like, okay, I'm acknowledging that this situation's hard for you, and like, it's not long term, it's not gonna work. Like,
Oh,
and
100%.
that's totally okay. You know what I mean? Like, I feel
Totally,
like people very much don't want to hear that hard truth, and like, but then thinking back to how things did play out, and it's like, damn, if you just shot it to me straight and didn't bullshit me, I would have respected you so much more than like,
oh yeah,
let's play this game of cat and mouse for so many fucking years.
Just draining. That's what I remember the most.
And I think throughout the years of different relationships, I think that's where it really stood out. Like this sense of like draining and this game of cat and mouse, and like it was hot when it was hot, it was cold. Like it was just.
I'm not here to convince
There's
you.
There's no consistency.
This is it. Yeah.
Right. I feel like it was very inconsistent. And I'm not going to not take accountability. Like, you know,
sure.
Anybody happens to, you know, be like, wait, this story is sounding a little fucking familiar.
Is this about me?
Yeah. You know,
it's okay though.
Yeah. Like, I'm no saint either. Like, I know I played my role in some of the situations that I like found myself in. And I definitely have like mistreated people along the way. Like, do hurt people hurt people? Yeah, but like sitting here like, you know, 32 years old,
reflecting,
mental health therapist, like telling people how to help themselves, like I can see that responsibility in myself and the accountability, and like hurt people do hurt people, but it doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
So it's like, until you sit back and like heal from a lot of this shit, until you're ready, that's when, you know,
you'll be in a cycle.
You just keep doing the same shit with different people with different names.
Just,
like you fucking line all of my exes
next
up,
one, and then the next one, and then
similar.
the next one.
Yeah.
Wild.
100%. Yeah, and like you guys definitely were along the road for that ride with me.
Listen, that's what we're here for. That's why we're your best friends.
Yeah,
forever.
100%. Exactly.
I actually was just thinking that, Nicole, the next time you come on, we need to do like a mental health and wellness chat.
Yeah, we can definitely do
Considering this is millennial group therapy, what better way to do that than with our lovely therapist herself?
Today it's Pride Group Therapy, right?
Yeah,
that can be the title.
I love that. Truly.
Aww.
But no, like I always listen to Nicole and I'm like, she's so smart on this stuff.
I paid a lot for that fucking degree.
Guys, she's really good at what she does. Don't listen to her.
Yes.
But seriously.
Yes. I appreciate it. No, I mean, I definitely just, you know, communication listening is very big, you know. That's definitely, and I think that's why our relationship has been as strong as it has been for so many years. And like, we've never had a fight. We've never had a falling out. And that's
none of us.
rare to say. Literally,
it's extremely rare when we've been friends for as long as we've been friends. Even other people in our friend group, we have been in tiffs with from time to time. So
going out with all together.
Some gone for good. But you know, I mean, the three of us really, we've been day one since day one and never had an issue ever.
I know.
This has been my favorite U-Haul for sure. The only U-Haul and my favorite U-Haul.
Yes.
I love that.
For the gram, I'll just
U-Haul. Put a U-Haul.
MSN, you know.
Yeah, exactly. MSN for life.
Yeah. Fuck the freaking web browser MSN. We are the MSN.
We are the MSN.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much.
But no, I definitely thank you guys for like, you know, being so supportive and loving and always having my back.
Same to you for us. We've had our own share of fucking fuckery. Some of us more than others.
That's why there's three of us. We just rotate.
Life is a journey. Yes, exactly. Oh man.
Gosh.
So good.
All right. Morgs, you ready for your question?
This is my closing question. Okay.
All right.
Question.
We ask this for our guests now. We've had a couple guests. So cool. Here you are, the third one. Yay, us. Okay. So think back. Nostalgia. We are millennial group therapy. So think back to a childhood memory that is triggered by a show, like a childhood show or movie or character. Or just your favorite, if you don't want to, you know, get all into even though we already have been. I know.
You know what I think? Like when I
guess beforehand.
Yeah, when I think of like back to like childhood shows, like the ones that like I'll do two actually.
Okay.
I'll give you two. So do you remember the girl from Dexter's Laboratory?
Yes,
the one that you
yes,
like just
yes.
with like the big tits and
Yes,
shit.
Dee Dee.
Right?
No, not
Dee
Dee
Dee.
Dee.
Oh wait.
No.
Who the fuck are you talking about
with like
then?
the professor. She like
yes.
like,
I don't know who the fuck she's called, but
yes, her. I always thought I was like, she's kind of cute. Like, you know, that could
sexual awakening.
That was like me with Aladdin. Young age. I was like, ooh, 5-year-old Aladdin. We could get it on. You with no shirt on, only Disney prince. Just saying.
Yeah, and then I think my second memory, or one of my favorites was Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like,
oh my god, yes.
That's just millennial freaking gold. Is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Also, probably the reason I have like sleep problems, anxiety, and other 100%. Issues.
And Courage definitely embodies my anxiety. Like, if anything was Courage, it always looking for like some type of answer. Like, you know, like I have a cough and I'm like on WebMD, like, what happened?
Oh yeah, he's like,
am I dying?
He's like, am I dying?
Literally. Oh my god, I love that.
That's actually hilarious because I always forget about that show, and then I'm always like, I loved that show, but also like, is this where I have trauma because of that
right?
100%.
And
your sleep paralysis.
1,000%.
1,000%. Our last guest, Alex, who I work with, he also said Courage the Cowardly Dog as one of his. Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Whoever you are, the creator, like whoever you are, wherever you are, you really did it. You really did it with that one.
You're very instilled in here. I don't know if it's good or bad.
I know. That's true. Which one? But
oh my goodness. Too funny.
To be honest, I don't even fucking know. I like think back. I think a movie would be Aladdin, but that just like full circle.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that that's what I wanted in a man. Just kidding.
I'm dead.
A man with abs that were drawn on by someone else. I'm just totally kidding. But tan, dark, tall, handsome.
I definitely wanted to be like Hercules and Tarzan, like put together. Like those are my two. Like I was like, do I think they're cute or do I want to be them?
I was gonna say,
yours was more like that is what you want.
You did that.
Like,
yeah. I was like, if I could merge Hercules and Tarzan.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's
for you.
Who I want to be.
Yeah,
like that's your poster, but like like in the gym poster.
This is my idol.
I'm gonna work it up in Photoshop. I'm gonna work that up.
Oh my god, Morgan, please do.
Put it up.
I always try and think about that though. I don't know what show is like near and dear to like my millennial heart. I don't know.
See, I definitely remember Rocco's Modern Life vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Also another good one.
And I feel like underrated. You don't hear about it too much, but definitely like I think it was on. I don't know. It was on early, but I like remember like being in my parents' room, my dad getting ready for work, like all the things, you know, just like sticks up in there. I don't know why.
100%.
Cat Dog. They played
Cat Dog.
Yes, they played
early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you guys watch the Angry Beavers?
I definitely heard about them, and I feel like I probably watched them a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why that sounds so familiar.
I'll show you a clip after because
I feel like I have seen something. I don't know if I watched it like regularly, but
I feel like
you know what? Then I
Anton will know. Anton will know
because
he remembers everything.
Nickelodeon had such an interesting way that it put out shows. It was like those shows were like all at a certain time, and then like Rocket Power and like all those shows, and like Hey Arnold and Doug and Rugrats were like its own thing. I'm like. Everything had its like own little group.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, and this isn't really like a kid's show or anything, but like Friends really does always come to mind when I think of like old television.
Sitcoms.
Well, that was like my show with my mom. So like anytime I think of Friends, I think of like my mother and I like growing up. She always had that on. I know That and like The Bachelor or Survivor. Those were like our shows. We'd eat our like poor people nachos.
Yeah,
the poor people nachos.
Microwave. Yeah.
Put the cheese on it, stick it in the microwave for like 10 minutes.
Dude, I still do
burn
that.
a hole through the styrofoam plate that I definitely have cancer from.
Why the fuck styrofoam plates exist? I'll never know.
My mom still buys them to this day. I'm like, Marcy, have we not learned?
Always were at Steph's house. Like,
always.
There was never paper. It was styrofoam.
My entire house was just cancer zone. So like, if we ever have cancer later on in life,
probably from your house.
It's from my house. Between the pantry of food with all the fucking carcinogens and that.
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
What?
Thumbs down.
Gave a thumbs up.
That, the freaking styrofoam, the Marcy cigarette problem. I mean, the list goes on.
I just remember I would make PB&Js at your house.
Oh yeah.
And the burritos.
And ramen noodles.
And
we had the ramen noodles.
The bean burritos.
My favorite meal at Nicole's house though were those fucking noodles with that Parma-Rosa. Is that what it is?
Oh my God, the Parma-Rosa.
The way that I would literally get so excited.
Big Topa Parma-Rosa.
Me too. I looked it up. Yes, but it's expensive and you can only buy it on like Amazon. And it was like,
yes, I feel like I saw it at like Publix. No, really?
I've looked for it at Publix. I cannot find it anywhere. I actually have. That's why I asked you that one day. What was it called? And I couldn't find it. And I was so disappointed. Also, I have to try. Hold on. I'm going to like 2 seconds. My thing's going to die. And I don't want it to die midway
we could
through.
sign off. I mean, are you okay?
This was good. It was
like
getting good.
Aneurysm. Like.
Just 2 seconds. Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
All right, cool. We'll just sit fucking right here. No problem.
Anyways, I feel like I found Parma-Rosa in college. Like, I feel like I made it for the roommate.
If anybody doesn't know what Parma-Rosa is, it is literally...
Oh my God.
Powdered
I'm like out of here.
Shit.
It's a salt packet.
It's literally a salt packet of
Let me get a picture. Sauce. Let me insert a photo real quick for the people. It's like the Knowles brand, Knorrs. Hold on.
Yeah. And then you would sit there, boil your pasta, leave a little bit of water, add a fuck ton of butter and this fucking ground up powder. And it was the most delicious, creamy, delectable. Like
here it is.
Yes. The Parma-Rosa.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh my God. Like, do not look at the sodium content on this shit because it's gotta be so. And you put like butter. Yeah. It was great. Wow. Oh my God.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Barely. You sound like shit.
Do I really? Something's fucked up. Something got fucked up. I don't know what I did. All right, just close out the show. Oh, what just happened? What the fuck's going on?
You're good now.
It keeps. There's going to be like 3 recordings. Sorry, maybe not.
No, there's not.
Remember that one time? Well, on my thing, it's saying that it's recording. I remember that one time that happened.
This girl.
All right, whatever.
It's fine. The thing's not nothing's fucking charging, so it is what it is. I'm glad you guys were able to show the people the Parma-Rosa because
I absolutely did. We told them
if we had to have a like food item that brings me back
Parma-Rosa.
to like that Parma-Rosa.
That's a good one.
Nicole's mom would always have cheese for me, white cheddar cheese, and also fruit in the fridge. That was my favorite thing about your house.
So many
your house was the basket. Morgan's house always had the basket of all different fun chips and things that I like couldn't find anywhere else. I would go there and I would go straight to the snack basket. And if it wasn't there, I was like, where is the snack basket?
Like, where the fuck is the basket?
I was like, I come here for the basket of food.
And then if we wanted to go to Steph's house, her mom had a pizza ordered and we would just steal alcohol.
I know. Oh my God.
Every Friday night, Marcy would go out and we would pull out the blender and make pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris and dance in front of my freaking computer.
What a time to be alive.
Wow.
What a time.
Good times. Kids these days, they don't know how to have fun. Well, they have fun other ways. We had fun,
the old
correctly.
Way.
I know. I saw the meme today that was like, we were so unhinged. We had a top 8 we could pick through our friends. We had a top 8 on MySpace. And I was like, we were so fucking unhinged. I love it. I love
it. Literally, like, if you piss me off that week, guess what? You're going to remember.
Bye.
God, it was so hard, though, like, when you really think about it, to, like, place, like, us as friends. Like,
right.
Yeah. I don't want to rate anyone lower than each other.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then, like, sometimes the significant others, they, like, got up there. You had to be really...
You were real quick to jump us down, Steph.
No. I always said my significant other came second. and you had to be like
no,
really good to get in first place. Really good. Everybody, I used to like rotate though, my first placers. Like I would just be like, this week I like you the most.
I blacked it out, honestly. I have no fucking clue. I don't remember a fucking thing.
I know for a fact I had you fucks up there. Definitely a couple other people too. And then some people that I definitely probably don't even talk to anymore. Like 100%.
Can I just
but listen,
say that
just trying to get a MySpace, I had to like jump through fucking gates to get one because Marcy was like, no social media.
Now look at you.
Also, can we just talk about how we used to take pictures for those pages? Because it was not with a digital camera at first. That was with the disposable cameras.
Disposable.
We didn't even know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
I always think about that when I think about our parents like taking baby pictures. Like, could you imagine if you took a photo of your baby thinking like, oh, this is a great photo, and then like you don't, it's like black, you covered it with your fucking thumb or something.
And then you're pissed as fuck. Yeah.
You don't have a baby photo anymore? Like, could you imagine that shit? Oh my God. Wow. Anyways.
There's a happy middle there. And I feel like we're on the other extreme right now.
Yeah.
Do I have 875 pictures of the cats? Sure do.
Do I have 1,000 plus pictures of my kids? Oh, yes, you bet your ass.
Yeah.
How many photos do I have currently? Way too many.
No.
6,318 photos and 2,061 videos.
Wow.
Oh, how do you have space? 2,000 videos.
I have the biggest. I have the biggest. The biggest terabyte, whatever the fuck it is. Dude, content creator, you have to have space.
Yeah.
Mom, you have to have space.
Fair.
Anyways, we do have to close this out because my iPad will die here in the next 3%, whatever that equivates.
Oh my God. Well, thank you all for joining.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nicole.
We're so happy to have had you.
The first of many episodes.
Yeah, I'll come back. Not a problem. It's definitely amazing to like shine light on this month, and you know, like I said, you guys are the best allies I could possibly ask for. And
don't make
I
me
love
cry.
you guys so much.
I know.
We love you more.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Bye.